I am starting a new series on this channel where I will be hand selecting a variety of different stocks and making up an investment portfolio, with the sole purpose of making as much percentage return from it as possible in the next 3 to 6 months. Hopefully I'll double my money, but I could potentially lose it all. And I'm taking you guys along for the entire journey. So don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss any future updates. I should just say that this series, this little experiment, is purely for fun, for entertainment. I have only put money into this investment portfolio that I can afford to lose, because I realize that no one can truly predict the market, especially not in really short time periods like I am doing. But like I said, for entertainment, I will be doing weekly update videos where I'm going to be showing how the portfolio is actually doing. I'll be really transparent. If it's doing really badly or really well, I will share it. And I'll also share any stocks that I'm buying or selling out of, taking profit from, and all things like that. If you don't want to wait an entire week for these updates and actually you want to see how the portfolio is doing on a day-by-day basis, then join the Patreon. I will leave a link in the description below. I actually opened this portfolio on the 27th of December and I deposited £400 in, and I split that money between a few different stocks. So I'm going to share which stocks I've actually got inside this portfolio and by which percentage in this video. And then I will do a future video probably later on this week showing how the portfolio is actually getting on. So the way I've gone about deciding which stocks are featured in my portfolio is actually by zooming out and thinking about which sectors and which macro-led trends I expect to see in the upcoming few months. So here's the portfolio. It is made up of 5 different stocks, and these are the percentage weightings per each stock. So you can see that I have one that represents 30% of the entire portfolio, a second one 25% of the portfolio, an 18%, a 15% and a 13%. So we're actually going to start off with stock 2, which is the one representing 25% of this portfolio. And the stock that I decided to put in this portfolio is Cipher Mining, ticker symbol CIFR. If you have never heard of this company before, I actually did discuss it on a recent video, which I'll link somewhere on the screen now, but this is essentially a Bitcoin mining company. And because I decided on a 25% allocation towards Cipher Mining, it got £100 invested. Before I discuss why I added that one, I actually want to jump to stock 4, which got £60 invested. And the reason is because it is in the same sector as Cipher Mining. So the company that I decided to give 15% of this portfolio to is also a Bitcoin mining company. This one is called TeraWulf. Ticker symbol WULF. Again, I believe I featured it in a recent video, and if I did, I'll leave the link to that on the screen. So I have 2 Bitcoin mining stocks that are actually making up 40% of the entire portfolio just between those 2 companies, Cipher Mining and TeraWulf. Now, of course, this is relatively risky. It is not very diversified to have 2 companies from the same sector making up 40% of the entire portfolio. A lot of people would actually advise against that. But with only £400 invested, I couldn't really split this across too many sectors, nor could I split it across too many companies within the same sector. However, I knew that I wanted a relatively large exposure to Bitcoin mining because of the crypto landscape right now. Bitcoin as an asset has been doing very big things recently. It is up about 16% just across the last month alone. And why is this happening? Well, I think it's because people are anticipating that a Bitcoin halving event will happen in April this year. These are cyclical events that happen once every 4 years, and actually following a Bitcoin halving event, what we tend to see is a crypto bull run. This is when the prices of different cryptocurrency assets surge in price. We've also got BlackRock's Bitcoin Spot ETF that looks really promising, and we are expecting approval any day now. Once this gets approved, it could potentially cause a very large breakout, as a large amount of institutional money will flow into Bitcoin. And with all these events that I've just mentioned, Bitcoin mining companies will also benefit. And this is because the Bitcoin miners are most profitable when Bitcoin is increasing in price. So I wanted exposure to that because I'm expecting to see massive growth in this area in the short and mid-term. Of course, this is not financial advice. I don't know what's going to happen. We could lose all the money that you see in this portfolio, but this is the bet that I'm making. These Bitcoin mining companies tend to be incredibly volatile, just like cryptocurrency is as a whole. But like I said, I am prepared to lose all the money I've put into this portfolio. It is just an experiment, so I am okay taking on that risk. The next 2 stocks in the portfolio are also from the same sector as each other. So the first one is the one that actually makes up the biggest percentage portion of this portfolio, and that is actually a company that I'm sure you've heard of called PayPal. ticker symbol PYPL. So PayPal is getting £120 of the entire 400 going into this portfolio. And the second one, which is a fintech company, is called Robinhood, ticker symbol HOOD, and that is actually getting £70, which it shows as 18%, it's actually 17.5%. These two companies, PayPal and Robinhood, are both in the fintech space. They're both fintech companies, but they are different to each other. They do very different things. So let's just tackle why I've added Robinhood first. I won't go into the details of everything about this company because again, I have made a video on this channel all about that company, which I will leave linked on the screen now. But I have decided to add this because they also are going to benefit from the crypto bull run. Robinhood is a very, very widely used platform, and not only can users of the platform invest into stocks and shares, but they can also easily buy crypto. Alongside that, they've recently actually expanded into the European market, so European users alongside the ones in the US can now also buy crypto on the platform. And I would say they've done that with the perfect timing. They are also expanding their normal investing platform into the UK market very, very soon, and they have many other catalysts coming up. And then we've got to think about the macro. Interest rates are starting to come down. We know that. We expect them to be cut during this year. Which companies, which sectors will do well because of that? Well, actually a load of them. But one in particular I think is going to really do well is the financial sector and the fintech sector specifically. The same thing with PayPal actually. Interest rates will really ease the pressure on this company and they allow people to buy crypto. PayPal has not been having a good time recently. The stock is actually trading at a very low price compared to all-time highs. But behind the scenes, lots of things are going on to hopefully move them in the right direction going forward. They've had big leadership changes, big business structural changes. There are many catalysts aligned, so they are making lots of different changes to hopefully realign the business towards growth. So now on to the last stock in this portfolio, and it's the one that has been allocated the smallest percentage of the entire portfolio. It actually makes up 12.5%, although you can see it as 13% here because this numbers app rounded it up. But anyway, that stock is a stock with a ticker symbol that you may not have heard of. Maybe you have. It's DNA. And this is getting £50 worth of the 400 going into the portfolio. So why is it in here and why is it my smallest? Well, it's the smallest because I anticipate more short-term upside from these other positions in the portfolio. Having said that though, it is a very interesting company with a massive total addressable market. And I think that even long-term, this company could potentially do very, very well if they move in the right direction, we see the right growth, we see the right revenues and all things like that. Thinking about sector, this company is in the biotech sector, which is a particular area that I think will do very, very well and have massive large changes in the upcoming decades. But clearly they're in the portfolio, so I think they could do well short term as well. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because in the upcoming videos, I will be sharing more about my profit taking strategies for this portfolio, how it is actually doing performance wise, and if I buy or sell any positions. And let me know if you have any of these stocks in your own portfolio. Until next time, keep analysing and keep investing.